Okay,
That's just going to take the stress into it.
got it.
Can everybody see this?
Yes.
It's Prana Mudra.
When you hold it up, I can see it off the wall better than on your black outfit.
Yeah. Okay. This
Not
is
that
good.
that's too high, but
This is very good feedback for me.
Yeah. Very good there.
Because if I'm back here, I don't think you don't see it as well, do you?
No,
No.
you're too far back.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll review what is Prana Mudra. Does anybody remember? It's a test. Okay, fine. I will tell you. So prana means life force, and prana means breath. Pranayama means breath control. So the yamas are control. And it's one of the main principles of yoga. Interestingly enough, in several languages, the breath and spirit are the same word. So prana is the life force that goes through you. Some of you might be familiar with it as qi, like in the Chinese medicine traditions, qi. So there's also like ki. So prana is breath. Our inhales, it's our exhales, it's the energy running through us. The prana mudra is a hand position. I'll show it again. Index finger inside thumb, ring and middle finger touching the thumb. So touching, not pressing hard. And then this mudra can be used either when you're doing a breath practice, meaning you're just practicing your breath for maybe a minute or 2 or 3, or during a meditation, just when you need a little break in your day. You know, some people say, what do I do when I'm feeling like I need, you know, my anxiety's up, or just so much is coming at me and I need a little break? I think this is a great one to come to. It has an immediate impact. I don't know if any of you felt it on Wednesday or not, but it can be very, very impactful for several. So don't worry if you don't like feel it. Sometimes we have to make buddies with our mudras, and some work, you know, some people feel them more than others. And so that's just a sensitivity. It actually doesn't necessarily mean it's working or not working. But there are some people who are like really, really sensitive to mudras. I have one that I use, we'll do it maybe next week, for the nervous system or for neuromuscular conditions. And I taught it once and on a cruise for a cause, and someone in the audience, one of the students said, I really don't feel like all this tingling in me. And so the answer was release the mudra, or when we're like hands up, palms up, that's more of a receiving mode. And then if you want to dim it because it's like feels really powerful, you can turn it down and still keep it so the palms are down. For this one, this is more just to help us feel and become sensitive to our breathing. Any questions before we'll play with this a little bit with our breath? Okay, so mudra in your lap, where it's comfortable for you. And maybe you soften and close your eyes and become aware of your breath. You can feel the rhythm of your breath. How fast or how slow. So this is a feeling, this isn't a judging. You can feel how there's a beginning and a middle and an end to each inhalation and exhalation. And so you might note how at the end of the inhale, the exhale begins. Now we know with our complete yoga breath, we're trying to breathe in and out through the nose. You can rest your tongue on the upper palate and note whether the belly is expanding first on the inhale. So you might hold the mudra in one hand and touch your belly with the other if you just want to check it out. Because this is the main important concepts that we are learning. Our belly expansion first and in and out through the nose. Then we start to focus on a slow breath, a smooth breath, a regular breath. This is an intention that we set. Just a few more moments of focusing on the air coming in and out through the nose, the belly expanding, so the breath is low. Sometimes you hear people say, take a deep breath. They don't mean, they mean a deep breath, initiating from the belly. So it's a diaphragmatic breathing pattern. I encourage you to practice this throughout your day, whenever you just want to take a little break. Or whenever you're feeling like a little off kilter and you need a little bit more balance in your life. So let's release it. And take our palms to heart center. Let's send gratitude to the veterans that you may either know, or they're a friend of a friend, or just that you know personally, or the ones that you know just because you know that veterans are out there and serving our country for the past, the present, and the future. We're just going to have to focus on our warrior poses today. So breathing in and breathing out. So when you think of a warrior, a veteran, what comes to mind for you? In yoga, we say the peaceful warrior. So let's see if we can cultivate the peaceful warrior within ourselves today. Exhale, lower the arms down. Inhale, take them out to the side. Let's move towards a cactus. Beautiful. Bring the palms together. Inhaling, arms forward. Interlace your pinky, your ring, and your middle finger, pointer fingers out, thumbs crossing, thumbs crossing. This is not, well, it probably is a mudra. I'd have to look up which one it is. It's similar to what's Prana mudra, which is the downward energy. So prana moves up and it moves down. So making this mudra, let's take our hands towards the right. So we're angling towards the right. And then inhale forward and towards the left. So starting with some little twists here. So don't go too far yet because we just began our movement practice. So swaying towards the right and towards the left. And then start to bring your arms upwards into a circle. Now, your shoulders may be not warmed up yet. You might bend your elbows as we move around. Pointing downward, out to the side, upwards towards the sky, and around. North, south, east, west, front, back. So prana, life force, can move in all different directions. And with our breathing and our yoga poses, we can, let's reverse it. Reverse your circle. We can direct the prana. If we're feeling perhaps really heady or in our head, we might draw the prana downward into our legs and our feet. If we're feeling kind of lethargic and maybe depressed, we might direct the prana upwards to lift the energy. Let's come back to center and bring your hands to your knees or thighs. Round your spine for cat pose. Lean back, pull the ribs back. Feel your sitting bones angle down towards the chair. And then on your inhale, take your arms either into cactus or extend them. V for victory. Feel your shoulder blades on the back. Exhale, we round, curl in. Make a big curl with your spine. So you're making a C curve. You're imagining making a C curve. You can't see it, but you can feel it. Inhale, open up into your V. V for victory. You got it. One more. Exhale, we round. Inhale, we lift up. Let's curl the fingers in towards the palm. Good, feel that and let your thumbs move towards center. Should we try that where you're not looking and you try to touch your thumbs? I know some of you guys do that. Oops, I peeked. I peeked. Not supposed to peek. Do it again. Open it up. No peeking. Don't let me peek. Try to touch the thumbs. That's it. If they don't touch, so what? Then maybe look up. Check it out. One more time. Open it up. Take your arms out. Thumbs up. Good. Release. Right arm over left. Give yourself a hug. And then open it up. And reverse it. Big hug. Yep. Think about a veteran that you know, you want to give them a big hug and a thank you. Open up your arms. Reach them skyward. Take your right hand to your left wrist. If it doesn't reach, don't worry about it. You can keep one arm up. There's all these variations, right? You can hold on to the side of the chair. Find your side bend. Tap your feet down into the earth. Tap your hips down into the chair. Maybe you take the right hand to the left wrist and give it a little gentle tug. Gentle, right? No pain, all gain. Maybe you turn your head down, or maybe you look towards your elbow. Now take a breath in through the nose and out through the nose. We're going to push down through our feet, rise up. Interlace your fingers and press your palms away. Beautiful. Make a little rounding motions. Just we're kind of circling the hands around and about. Just kind of warming up the wrists. And then inhale, arms lift. Should we do that thumb thing again? Oops, I wasn't supposed to look. Fingertips to your palm, spread your thumbs out, try to touch. Yep. Now take your side bend towards the left. You might have your left hand down at the chair. You might grab your forearm or wrist. Notice if your ribs come forward. Pull them back and then find your side bend. Breathe in. Breathe out. Maybe gaze towards your right and up towards the elbow. Notice if you feel like you're going to fall over towards the left. Lift back up again. Lift back up and then find your side bend if you feel like you're going to tilt towards one side. Rise up and arms at your heart. Let's begin to warm up the hips so we can do our peaceful warrior poses. Lifting the right knee, give it a big hug. Take the knee out towards the right and back to center. Left hand to right knee, find your twist. So now we've got the right hand behind us, gazing at the thumb. Breathe in and breathe out. Come back to center. Take the knee out to the side and place the foot down. So you're either going to stay right here for your warrior, or you're going to extend the left leg out to the side, or somewhere in between. But you want to make sure that this knee does not feel torqued. We don't want that business. No torquing of the knees. Then, coming to our warrior. So kind of shimmy your ribs right and left. You can take your hands to your hips and just feel that. Feel it. Notice what it feels like. It's probably easier to go to the right because this knee is bent. So our tendency is to lean to the right, to the front leg, what we often call the future. See if you can come back to center, which is present. Then we might float our arms up. We are a peaceful warrior, gazing over your front fingertips. Soften your gaze. What we mean by a soft gaze is eyes maybe half closed or things are slightly blurry. A lot of times I see students and their eyes are bugging out of their face because they're struggling in their pose. We'd rather have you take away that struggle. Now tap your right hip down into the chair. So angle it downward. You're going to feel your belly tone. On your exhale, bring the back hand to your back thigh or leg, and perhaps inhaling the right arm skyward. You can reach up high, It feels like you're really stretching up. Then relax your shoulder back down. Maybe take your hand behind your head to support it and find a little back bend here with the elbow rising. Take a breath in, feel this little back bend. Breathe in and breathe out, and breath is in and out. Supporting the head is nice so that the neck doesn't kick back there. Now we're going to push down through the feet and come back to warrior two. Let's bring the left arm forward and then pull it back like you've got a bow and arrow. I don't think our veterans use that, but we can imagine it. Open it up, take the arm forward, pull the elbow back, open it up. One more time, circle it forward, pull it back, open it up. Bring your palms to heart center and release. Walk the back knee back to neutral and feel the difference in your sides. You might feel a little difference there. Maybe you give it a little massage. Notice how it felt, or how it, what the impact of it after you do the pose, I should say. We're going to go for the left side. So inhaling, left knee rises, hug it on in. Give it a big, big hug. Breathe in and breathe out. Notice as you breathe in, how you might feel like your belly is touching your thigh. The knee is lifting. Now we're going to take it out to the side. Bring it back in. So you're only going to go to the point where you feel your range of motion or your inner thigh stretch. Bring it back in. Right hand to the knee. And left hand back behind you for a little twist. Perhaps gazing at your back thumb. Breathe it in. And out. And in. And out. Back to center. Take the knee outward. And let the foot drop on down. Gently. Gently. You can have a little, it's good to have a little impact, but make it gentle. So you're either going to be here for your warrior, depending upon how your leg feels, how your knee feels, or you're going to extend it out and back. Now, the heel of the front foot, the heel is underneath the knee. And the toes are pointing towards the left. And the back leg, if your leg is moving out and straight back. Then let the toes come into center a little bit. Stop right here for a moment. Make any adjustments that you need. I just lifted my hips up and placed them back down so the chair is not cutting the inner thigh. And then really sense your feet pushing down. Then really tap your left hip into the chair. So that means angle it down. It means the belly's gonna tone. It means that you're gonna feel your left sitting bone on the chair. Maybe a little bit of toning in that hip. Float your arms up. Notice if your shoulders came with you like this, and then lower the hands back down, because we don't want that. Let's take the arms out. That's not a peaceful warrior, right? So relax your shoulders, take a breath in and out, and then lifting the arms, soften the shoulders. Extend long through your arms like you're reaching your fingers front and back, right and left, west and east, east and west, and then lift tall through your spine, upwards towards the sky and downwards towards the earth. Then you might turn your palms downwards or not. Notice if that changes your shoulders up. If your shoulders lift up, then turn the palms back upwards. Let's take the back hand to the back thigh and lifting the left arm skyward. Reach it high and get a long lengthening through the left side of your body. Perhaps you take your fingertips behind your head to support it as you find this back bend. So you're lifting your heart skyward. Your collarbones are lifting up, and it's like they have a big smile across your chest. Breathe in. Come back to neutral warrior. Gazing over your front fingertips. Let's bring the right arm forward and then pull the elbow back. Open it up. Circle it forward and pull the arm back. So you're pulling the elbow back. Good. One more. Forward. Pull it back. Open it up. Release the hands down and walk your leg back to center. Notice how you're feeling now. Let's circle around on our hips a few times. So there's a stance called military stance. It's actually a really stiff looking stance and generally not great for posture or for the spine because it's bringing in the stiffness, and generally those four curves are not in the spine. So even though it's got kind of a nice ring to it, military stance, we want to make sure that we have the curves in the spine. So that's the neck spine making a curve, and then the thoracic, the chest making a curve, and then the lower back, and then the sacrum. So sitting tall, let's do our sun salute. So not too stiff, right? We start in mountain pose. You can think military, but then see if you can make sure that your neck is not flat. So let's take it forward like a duck or a goose or a turkey. A turkey's coming up, right? And then pull it back. If it's back too far, we lose the curve. If it's too far forward, we get our text neck or head. So we want to find that center. Take the head forward and then pull it back, and take it forward and pull it back. And then bring one of your fingertips to your chin and do that again. Push into your chin and pull it back and forward and back, and then find center. Good. And you might take your hand behind your lower spine and make sure that curve is going in just like the neck. So the curve would be going in rather than out. If it's not going in, take your sit bones back a little bit. If it's too much of a curve, take your sit bones down. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, arms out towards the T. Good. Bring your right forearm to your thigh and inhale your left arm skyward. Reach it high. reach it high. This is a version of thread the needle. So feel your shoulder blade on your back. Exhale, lower the arm down, circle it down, and inhale, lift it one more time. Breathe in, breathe out, push down through your feet and rise up. Other side, left forearm to thigh. You want to make sure your elbow's just about underneath your shoulder. If it's too far back, that's going to cause the shoulder to go forward, and you don't want that. So about elbow under shoulder, and then inhale, arm out to the side and up towards the sky. You can lean back slightly, but press down through your feet and your hips. Exhale, lower the arm down. Inhale, lift it back up. Breathe in and breathe out, and breathe in and breathe out, and moving back to center, to center. All right, it's time to move down towards the earth. So you want to be safe. Place a chair that's not going to move, maybe on your sticky mat or against a wall. Bring a blanket, a block, a strap with you. Never know exactly what we're going to need, right? So bring it on with you, and we'll come on down towards the mat. So placing the chair, then you might take one hand, both hands to the chair. You might put a blanket under your knees for a little cushion, and then you might step one knee down and then the other, or whatever way is safe for you. Then we're going to move this out of the way. Put it over here so you don't have to see it. I think you don't see it there. Okay, and let's do our table pose first. So you might put a blanket underneath your knees, and then palms are forward. Underneath shoulders or slightly forward to shoulders is a nice place to be. And then let's rock our table forward and back. So hips back and then forward. And notice how it feels. If you feel like it's too much on your knees, and don't go so far back. Too much on your shoulders, don't go so far forward. Make your adjustments. And then come back to center. And let's place the elbows down. So now the elbows are underneath the shoulders, approximately. And your arms are about shoulder distance apart. Then karate chop the earth with the side of your arms. Lift your belly into your spine, so you're going towards a cat pose with your forearms down. Now, if this feels uncomfortable, you can always come back onto your palms if you prefer that version. Inhale, heart rises, sit bones rise. Now we have that lower back coming in. We don't see that in military pose. Exhale, we round, sitting bones down, and chin moves towards your navel, towards your chest. Inhale, lift it up. Find a neutral position. So that's where the ribs are lifting towards the back of the shirt. The belly is supporting the spine. Let's slowly come down onto our belly. So walk your knees back. Walk your knees back. You're still in this Sphinx posture. And if you have a block, go ahead and hug your block with your palms. So press your palms into the block. And then imagine the right leg extending straight out from your hip, from your sitting bone, and the left. You might just gently lift it, just a teeny bit, not a lot, because your spine is up and I don't want you to get any lower back pain. Now, push down through your karate chop and pull your elbows towards you. Your heart moves away from you. You are shining it forward. Shine it forward. Think of somebody you love and shine your heart forward. Breathe in and breathe out. So you're pushing down through your karate chop. You're pulling your elbows isometrically towards you. Press the tops of your nails down into the mat. Maybe spread your toes. Let's gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale to center. Gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale to center. Awesome. One more time. Gaze over the right. Back to center and towards the left. And back to center. Let's lower down. You can remove the block. Relax your forehead on your stacked hands or forearms. And let your hips sway right and left. Sway them right and left. And inhale, return to neutral. Pick up the right leg, not too high, but pick it up so that the thigh is barely touching. Spread your toes, you can't see them. Reach the leg back and feel your right hip toned. If you were to touch it, it would be toned. Exhale, lower the leg down. Inhale, lift the leg back up, same leg. Feel the tone. Spread your toes. Take a breath in, feel the belly expand. And a breath out, let it go. Lower the leg down. Now, you're gonna bend your right knee and bring it up towards your right shoulder. I like to sleep like this. I don't know, maybe you do. But it gives a little stretch for the inner thigh. Kind of like a half frog pose. You can flex your foot or not. That's not super important. But feel the inner thigh stretch. Take a breath in. And a breath out, and then lengthen the leg back behind you. Let's inhale and lift the left thigh and leg up off the earth. Stretch it back. So lengthen through the leg. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lower the leg down. Inhale, it rises. See if you can feel a tone in your left side, in the hip. So there's a little bit of contracting in the left side of your hip. You're strengthening your hip here. Exhale, release. One more time. Lift it, lengthen it, tone the hip, release the leg. Find half frog pose on this side. Now, you can keep your head down or you can do this in Sphinx. You're bringing the knee forward. So you could have your head down or up. You're bringing that knee, I guess I should turn, huh? But you're bringing the knee forward towards your shoulder. I'll move this out of the way. You can keep it. Some people really like that blanket under their belly or hips. So the knee is moving forward towards your shoulder. And you're going to feel the inner thigh press into the earth. Feel your belly as it presses into the mat, and let's extend the leg back. Bring your palms by the side of your heart for a cobra pose. So legs are straight back behind us. We move our shoulders up and back. The tops of our ears move back. You should have no pain in your lower spine. If you do, you need to lower it back down and not go up so high. So shoulders circle to your ears and back. We press down through our palms. Feel your shoulder blades on your back. Lift the heart and telescope it forward. So this is a little bit deeper than the Sphinx we did when we first got on our belly. And then exhale and release down. So you can keep this version, or you can lift up, shoulders up and back, and then lift your palms up. It's a little harder. So palms are up and And shoulders are up and back. Tone your hips and lengthen them down towards your heels. The back of the neck is long. Exhale, take a break, lower. Inhale, lift up. Shoulders up and back. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in and breath is out. Exhale, release down. Place your palms down, curl your toes under and lift on up. Lift on up. Maybe circle your hips right and left and right. We are going to do either down dog or half anahata asana. So, which is half down dog. So first, let's take a look at down dog. It doesn't mean you're going to do the full version of it. We do wall dog when we're standing on Wednesdays. So toes are curled under, knees lift. So knees are bent, and then exhale and lower down. So we're getting towards our down dog. Then you might take your feet slightly wider. If that's helpful, go for it. Weight is in the center of our palms. We're pressing our fingertips down, and the ridge, this bottom ridge right of the pointer finger knuckle and across, those need to be down, pressing down into the mat. Otherwise, your shoulders are going to feel it. I know it's hard. If you're tight, do the best you can, or come down onto your forearms, or roll your mat and place your palms on the mat, a rolled mat, so it's doubled. So here we go. We lift our knees up and we bend them as we angle our sit bones up towards the sky. And then you may slowly straighten your legs to the point that it feels right for you. And then we exhale and we lower it back down. That's towards a down dog. You can do that one more time, or you can go for half down dog. Now remember, you can have the soft padding underneath your knees. Walk your fingertips forward, like you got spider hands. And then your hips are over your knees, and let your heart melt towards the earth. This is a little back bend. So heart is melting towards the earth, and then you might angle your sit bones down towards your knees, and that will tone your belly. You can always place your palms down. I don't want you to be in any pain. You can press your palms down and lift the undersides of your arms up. This is half down dog, so hips are over knees. It's a shoulder opener. You can almost feel like your back is a little bit of a hammock. Let the belly go, like you're trying to move your heart towards the earth, but keep your arms upwards, maybe claw the mat with your fingertips. And then walk your hands back, and it's a long time to be down like that. So let's come on up and go into boat pose, our favorite, right? Our favorite. So on your sitting bones, let's give ourselves a hug for all the work we've done so far. Maybe imagine a veteran that you know or love and give them a big hug. Take a breath in and a breath out. And then we're going to take maybe fingertips back behind you for boat pose. We want the shoulders up and back. We don't want them leaning forward. Building a little heat. Maybe you are too. Takes a while for me to build heat. So fingertips back behind your hips, shoulders up and back. That could be your boat pose right here. Maybe you like your hands behind your thighs, and that could be your boat pose right here. Maybe you lean slightly back and you come up onto your toes. That could be your boat pose right here. You might lift a leg and then lower it down. And inhale, maybe the other one lifts and lower it down. You might take both up. Now, when the knees are closer in, that's easier on your lower back. If they go further away, that's a little harder. Don't strain your lower back. I don't want to hear that you strained your lower back in yoga. Not a good idea. Exhale, place your feet back down. Give yourself a little break. Take a breath in and a breath out. And we'll do another version. Now, maybe you hug the block with your inner thighs for your boat pose. So it looks more like this. Shoulders are always up and back. We don't want to round. Hands can be back behind you, or some of you are going to prefer the hands behind the thigh. This could be it, where you're just hugging your block. So on your exhale, hug your block. On your inhale, give it a little release. Exhale, hug it in. Maybe you lift one leg, lean a little bit further back, perhaps. Exhale, lower the foot down. Other side, leaning slightly back. Lower it down. Maybe you take one arm. So I'm giving you all these options. You don't have to do all of them. Maybe you take one arm forward. Maybe the other one. That's it. Hands got it. Maybe hugging your block. Maybe you wave to everybody that you see on the screen. Oh yeah. Wave, shake your hands out. Distract yourself from the fact you're doing boat pose. I love it. I love it. Bring your feet on down. See, that's the advantage of me seeing you guys. You give me ideas. Yep. Now, remember we did a twist in the chair. Maybe we do it in both. So you can have your feet down and keep the right hand at the shin and maybe take the left hand back behind you. Maybe the legs lift or the toes lift, maybe not. Maybe one leg lifts. Come back to center. And then the other. And move back to center. Let's release that block. Say goodbye to the block for the moment. And we're going to go down onto our back. So we got to stretch out the front of these thighs. Let's come down onto the back. If your nose is pointing up, we want it to point, we don't want it to point back. We want it to point up. We want the chin and the forehead to be about level. If your ears are pointing back and your nose is pointing back, then you probably need a little blanket under your head, but not a big blanket because we don't want the neck to go flat. So here we go. Let's walk in place in our bridge prep pose. So lifting the right leg, let it go down. Lift the left leg, let it go down. Do this a few times, lifting and lowering so that you can feel the impact of the leg lowering. We want to stimulate the bottom of our feet. Now, next time you lift the right leg, lower the heel down first, then the rest of the foot. So we're rolling. Left side, left foot lifts, lower the heel down, then the rest of the foot. Other side, leg lifts, lower the heel, lower the rest of the foot. One more on the other side, lifting, lowering, place it down. Let's go into our bridge pose. So in bridge, we are focusing on the heart lifting first. I know when you go to PT, sometimes it's about strengthening your hips and your glutes. For today, let's focus on lifting the heart and opening it up. So arms can be in cactus pose, or I'm sorry, robot pose. It could be in cactus pose. That's fine if you like that. And then we're going to push down through the upper arms, lift the heart, then the hips. Feet are pressing down into the mat. Hips are toning. Heels are pulling towards your shoulders. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel your hamstrings. They may feel like they're activating, and then you feel like you're getting a stretch through the front of the thighs. Exhale, lower down. So hips lower down first. Inhale, hips rise. Now, you might take your arms down. You might walk your shoulders underneath you a little bit, We want to make sure the back of the neck is not flat. If you were to be, if you could, we're not going to right now, but you want space in between the back of your neck and the mat. I was going to say you could stick your hand or something, a little mouse could walk under there. Now, you might interlace your fingers underneath you. Some people love that. If it's accessible, fine. If it's not, fine. Let's sway the hips to the right, back to center, sway them to the left and back to center. Lower your hips down, give it a little break. And we're going to go back up. Heart rises, hips rise. Sway the hips to the right, back to center. Sway the hips to the left, back to center. Right. Notice how you might feel some toning. Come back to center, towards the left, and back to center. Feel your heart rise towards your chin. Enjoy this back bend. Feel your hips toning. And exhale and release the hips back down. Bring your right knee in towards you. Give it a big hug in and bring the knee towards your right shoulder. You can use your hands on your shin to pull the knee in. Now, you might feel a little stretch in your inner thighs. So if you do, that's awesome. You can't, if you reach your foot, go for it. Pull it down in. And then if you don't feel a stretch or you think you could get a little bit more, but we're not looking for pain, right? We're just looking for a nice little stretch, not acute discomfort. You may extend your bottom leg and feel a little bit more of a stretch here. So pulling the knee towards you as you extend the bottom leg, push out through the heel. The toes are pointing upwards in the bottom leg. Breathe in and breathe out. And then step your right foot down and let's switch sides. So pull the left knee in towards you. Maybe use both hands. You can let the knee go a little bit towards the outside of your left shoulder. The footprint is towards the sky. Feel the sensation of this stretch, perhaps extending the bottom right leg. Push the heel away from you. Breathe in and breathe out and breathe in and breathe out. Feel this nice extension. As you extend the bottom leg, you pull the knee towards you, only to the extent of your range of motion. And let's bring both knees in and do a little happy baby. So rocking right and left, maybe weaving your arms around or in between your legs. Come back to center after you massage your spine right and left. You're going to either place your feet together in butterfly up like this or butterfly down like this. So feet are down on the earth, knees are out, or feet are up. You choose. Then we're going to take our hands behind our head. I don't do these often because I really don't want you pushing your head forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our belly to lift us and do a few sit-ups. Do not, I repeat, do not push your head forward. Your head is relaxing in your palms. Your head is relaxing in your palms. It is not, you are not pushing the head up. Your nose is pointing up towards the sky. Then take an inhale. On your exhale, pull your pelvic floor and your belly in. Maybe the head lifts, but it's relaxing your palms. You are not forcing it. And then release. You don't even have to lift your head. Take an inhale. On the exhale, pull your belly to your spine, your pelvic floor in and up. Maybe the head lifts and you gaze upwards and slightly in between your legs. Release down. One more time. Pull the ribs down to the mat, the belly towards your spine, your pelvic floor in and up. maybe the head lifts. And release, let that go. Let's bring our knees in towards each other and feet out. Let's check out how our breath is doing. So on your inhale, feel the belly rise first. Then maybe you feel the rib cage. You can take your hands to the side of your rib to check it out. Then maybe the heart lifts. Maybe it doesn't. So we're going to do that again. You might have one hand at your heart and one hand at your belly. Breathe in. And breathe out through your nose. And breathe in. And breathe out through your nose. Belly expanding first and rising. And breathe out. One more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good. We're going to roll to our side and come up, and then we're going to do a few yoga push-ups because that makes me think of the military. Yeah, can't let you get away from the core, right? So when we were pulling the belly to the spine, that's the core working. So on your palms, knees are back behind your hips. We don't want to sink our belly down like that. That's a recipe for back pain. We want to lift the ribs up, pull the belly to the spine. Now, we're not going to do the kind of push-ups where you saw in gym, where you went all the way down. I just want you to go down a few inches. So exhale, slowly lower, just 1 or 2 inches down. Keep your shoulder blades on your back. Press down, rise up. How many should we do, Terry? 50? No, she says no. Okay. But let's see. It's Veterans Day. It's November 11th. 11? You guys could do 11. Okay, here we go. Exhale, lower down. Elbows pull into the side. Inhale, rise up. You can always take a break. You can always say, I'm done. Take a breath in. On your exhale, pull your belly to your spine, bend your elbows, lower down 1 inch or 2 or 3, but don't go all the way down. Then push your palms down, rise up. Take a little break, take your hips back. Inhale, we move forward. Exhale, bend your elbows. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, pull back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, pull the belly to the spine. Angle your sit bones down towards your heels. Bend your elbows. Lift up. We're halfway there. Take your hips back. Give it a little break. Those of you who've said you've had enough, go to child pose. We come forward. We tone the belly. We exhale, lower the elbows. Lift on up. Lower down. Lift up. I think we're at about 8 or 9. To 2 more. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pull the belly to the spine. Elbows in and lift on up. So good for weight bearing, right? We got to do our weight bearing. Maybe do one more bonus. Exhale, bend the elbows. Pull your belly in and up. Release. Let it go. Find a child pose. And then onto your back for our spinal twist, hip opener before your Shavasana. So right knees into chest, pull it on in, let it fall over towards the left. Arms can be in cactus or T. Breathe in and breathe out. Your gaze can turn towards the right when your knees go to the left. If you don't like this version, you can always use both knees bent. This one tends to get into the hip a little bit. And you could rest your knee on the block here. Something like that. Feel the opening across your chest. Breathe into the belly. Breathe out through the nose. Breathe in, belly expands, even in a twist. Breathe out, let it go. Let's switch sides. So lifting the left knee towards you. Let it fall to the right. Maybe you turn your head to the left. You might have to adjust your shoulders so that your spine is straight. So your forehead, your nose, your chin, your spine are lined up. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, releasing. Feel your shoulder blades on your back. Breathing in and breathing out. In and out. Come back to neutral and find your final resting pose. Like put a bolster underneath your knees, feet up the wall or a chair, or maybe lying down butterfly for a little bit. Some of you might want your knees bent and coming in towards each other for constructive rest. And if you wish, you can come back to that prana mudra, where your index finger is tucking inside the side of the thumb, and your thumb is touching your third and fourth fingers. Not a necessity, but a possibility. A possibility. So finding your resting pose, softening the eyes so they close ever so lightly, letting the breath come back to natural. Even if you're in the mudra or not with your hands, let the breath start to even out and come back to a natural rhythm and cycle where you're not trying to control it in any way. So letting your breath come to that natural cycle on its own, focusing on the belly rising and falling. Focusing on softening into the support underneath you and around you. The face is softening, meaning the skin on the face is softening. The jaws are relaxed. The tongue is just gently touching the upper palate, and the teeth are not touching. There's a little space in between the upper and lower jaw. Feeling the air come in and out through the nostrils. Feeling a little lift in your heart. Feeling the breath fill your belly. Feeling your arms resting down by your side. Perhaps releasing the mudra. Letting the fingers just be. Feeling the backs of your hands touch the mat. Feeling your abdominal organs relaxing. Bringing your awareness in that direction.
Yeah.
Pelvic floor relaxing.
Yeah.
Feeling the hips relax. Feeling the legs, the upper legs, behind the knees, the lower legs. Relaxing and weighty. Feeling heels relaxing.
Told you that.
Feet are flapped open. Not trying to change anything, just being, relinquishing control. Feeling the breath flow through the whole body. So prana is flowing through your whole body. You've moved the life force within you through your mindful movement practice, through awareness of the breath. Stay in your resting pose as long as you want on this Veterans Day. You may rise as I close, whatever best for your practice. We'll stack our palms on our heart and send gratitude out to all the veterans that have made sacrifices and served our country. Sending much gratitude out. Bringing the palms together in front of the heart, we bow in. With an inner smile and an outer smile, we say namaste. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Practice your prana mudra.
Exercise, workout. You have
Anybody has any questions? I'm here. Thank you so much for letting me know that you weren't seeing me, because that's very helpful for me to know that. Then I can make an adjustment. Makes me more conscious, right? Just like I want to see you, you want to see me. So it works both ways. Thank you, everyone. I see you,
Thank you,
Norlin.
Mindy.
Thank you, Mindy.
Thanks, Mindy.
I have a
There's my food.
5-month-old granddaughter, and I watch her doing what are like those little cobras, basically.
Ah.
She's on her tummy and
So
she's
cute.
doing this. And I think how hard it is for me to do it. So
And for
she's
her.
probably really working, but she's really working.
Aww. Aww.
So sweet.
That is very cool. How are you feeling, Cheryl?
I'm all right. It did help to think about blossoming.
Blossoming that buttocks, huh?
Yeah, that has helped. And then and then my son is a chiropractor actually, and he helped me too. So I'm
Okay.
better. I'm doing better.
Oh, good. Good to hear that.
That's great. So our military people, that they teach that posture where it's kind of stiff, and they lose some of the curves in their spine often. I don't know if they still do it, but if you look at like old military posture, you know how they look like they got great posture, but it's a little stiff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
Loosen up, right? Loosen up a little bit there.
That's right.
Yeah. Take care, everyone.
Okay. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Mindy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.